Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim urged Diogo Dalot to get tighter to Son Heung-min. Less than a minute later, Dalot was still too narrow, and Son's volley wreaked havoc, eventually leading to James Maddison's decisive tap-in. Failure to take on those instructions typifies the defeatist mentality of this Manchester United squad. They have no hope of mastering Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system if they cannot master routine orders. Dalot is one of the senior statesmen and the first to approach the United supporters before every game, tribally beating his chest and clutching his fists. He needed to be as intense approaching Son. He wasn't, and it cost United. Amorim's shoulders slumped. He outstretched his arms in disbelief at United's positioning and Casemiro's looseness with the ball. He constantly had to reposition the players and complain to his staff about a squandered overload. The United coach also berated Rasmus Højlund for being flagged offside. Højlund was filmed grinning or grimacing, sheepishly. Some will dismiss that as an innocent expression. Others will take a dim view of a striker who has now gone 15 games without a goal. At full time, Amorim slapped his thighs against his legs before he embraced Ange Postecoglou. United have failed to score in 10 matches this season, and it is 2 successive league defeats. The United players and staff were still applauded gratefully by those in the away section. They had 12 players missing through injury and illness. Losing at Spurs in that context is hardly a disgrace. Yet United have lost 3 times to the worst Tottenham team since Christian Gross took the tube to White Hart Lane in 1997 within 5 months. A banner in the away end read, "We want our club back." On the other side of the segregation, Spurs fans unfurled their own message to the ownership. "Our game is about glory. Levy's game is about greed. We want Levy out" was aired in the 3rd minute. There was a sit-in protest at full time. The club United fans are likely to get back is of a 1974 vintage. They will head to Goodison Park next week below Everton in the table for the first time since David Moyes was in the away dugout in April 2014. Maybe the Grim Reaper will reappear in the away stand. It is now 12 Premier League defeats this season for United, 2 shy of the 14 last season, and 9 defeats in 21 games under Amorim. Amorim applauded the players encouragingly as full-time loomed, acknowledging their undeniable effort and enterprise. United had 16 attempts, and Guglielmo Vicario made 6 saves. The 3,038 United followers supported their club defiantly, singing the Calypso on the hour. If Alejandro Garnacho had rediscovered his shooting boots, then United might have avoided a domestic treble of losses to Tottenham. Garnacho does not turn 21 until July, but this was his 124th appearance for United. He did not lack for commitment, stretching every sinew to block a clearance and practically brushing Patrick Dorgu to one side to sting Vicario's right palm. Despite the lowly scoreline, much of the game was nigh on identical to the League Cup quarter-final between the teams on the same turf in December. United trailed to a conversion on the rebound and created the clearer openings. The crucial difference was Tottenham never got the 2-goal advantage. They did not need to. This was the 10th game of the campaign United have failed to score in, and both of their £108.5 million strikers were in the starting lineup. Joshua Zirkzee's approach play was silky at times, yet he fluffed his sole goal-scoring chance with a header. United were late arriving at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and their entrance coincided with confirmation of the dreaded team news. The list of substitutes was a throwback to the benches Sir Alex Ferguson used to pick in 90s League Cup ties that he practically threw. 8 of the United substitutes had not played for the club before kick-off, and nobody on the bench was in their 20s. The 30-year-old Victor Lindelof was the substitute's babysitter. The substitutes' squad numbers added up to 393. Amorim did not make a change until the 90th minute. 5 substitutes were told to warm up again as late as the 70th minute, with the starting 11 ploughing on. Tottenham made all 5 substitutions by the time Chido Obi emerged. 5 United substitutes paced up and down the touchline were called back, took their seats and sat down in the 79th minute. The prolific Obi was then on his feet again, pounding the muddied turf, awaiting a debut. He turned into a ball boy, fetching it for Dorgu. Obi, with the number 56 below his name, crossed the white line in added time. It was only last week that the United reserves coach Travis Binion remarked that Sekou Kone was not physical enough for second-string football. Kone arrived to some fanfare on transfer deadline day in August and was photographed with the technical director Jason Wilcox. Marcus Rashford is said to still have his heart set on joining Barcelona, even though the Spanish giants have insisted they weren't desperate to sign him in the transfer window. Rashford, 27, does not appear to have any sort of future at Manchester United after being frozen out by Ruben Amorim and agreed to sign on loan for Villa this month. It's thought that the 60-cap England star will weigh up his options again once his temporary spell at Villa Park is done. And while it remains to be seen if Villa will pull the trigger on a permanent move, Rashford seemingly still has one eye on a switch abroad. Talks between the players' representatives and Barcelona were held in January, and Rashford is hopeful they will rekindle their interest at the end of the season. A source told The Sun Marcus is confident that if he rediscovers his form at Villa Park and starts bagging goals, Barcelona will revive their interest, especially as a transfer price has been established. It's a huge incentive for him, which is good news for Villa. Now he just needs to get playing and start scoring. Intriguingly, Barcelona's sporting director Deco said of the club's interest in Rashford earlier this week, "It's true there was talk of Rashford, but we weren't desperately looking for a player either." While a move to the No Camp didn't materialise mid-season, Rashford has looked promising in his 2 cameo appearances since joining Villa, who negotiated a £40 million purchase option into the loan deal they agreed with United earlier this month. He caught the eye after coming on at half-time in Aston Villa's 1-1 draw with Ipswich Town on Saturday, and even played a significant role in the build-up to Ollie Watkins' equaliser. Rashford and the club's other late signing in the window, Marco Asensio, were singled out for praise by Unai Emery during the Spaniard's post-match interview with Match of the Day for helping Villa get a result against Ipswich, who were reduced to 10 men in the first half when former Manchester United defender Axel Tuanzebe saw red. Good impact and keep going now. Try to fit in as best as possible, Emery said of the on-loan duo. We are playing against Liverpool here. We lost some opportunities, but of course we have to be consistent and hope we can react. Manchester United sensation Ahmad could be set to miss the rest of the season. The Ivorian winger reportedly picked up an ankle ligament injury in training and is expected to spend some time on the sidelines. He is still being assessed, but there are fears that his campaign might potentially be over. Ahmad had been in sensational form for the Red Devils ahead of picking up his issue. He has scored 9 goals and notched 7 assists, a record that includes a dramatic winner against Manchester City and a sensational hat-trick against Southampton. His form saw him rewarded with a new contract until the summer of 2030, and Ahmad has since taken to social media to confirm his injury blow. He wrote, "Extremely disappointed to be writing this message in such a crucial time of the season. Unfortunately, I will be out for some time with an injury. I will come back stronger than ever. Time to support the boys from the outside. Still loads to play for." Ahmad is not the only star to be doubtful ahead of this Sunday's clash with Tottenham. Lisandro Martinez has been ruled out for the rest of the campaign after picking up a major knee injury. Meanwhile, midfielder Kobbie Mainoo is out for a few weeks, while Toby Collier and Manuel Ugarte are also expected to miss this weekend's clash. Speaking in his pre-match press conference, United boss Amorim said, "It was a good week until 2 days ago. We had some problems also. We don't have players back. Maybe we have 1 or 2 issues. We are waiting. We have 1 player also who is sick, so we will see who is fit. But it was good to work with team, to feel the players and try and improve performances." Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Johnny Evans and Altay Bayindir are also all sidelined ahead of this weekend's clash with Spurs. Following the clash with the North London side, United are then back in action against Everton next weekend before hosting struggling Ipswich. United then take a pause from their league commitments with an FA Cup showdown with Fulham. Manchester United are set to pivot to Benjamin Sesko or Liam Delap in the summer, with a deal for Victor Gyökeres now thought to be out of reach. The Red Devils are expected to dip into the transfer market for a new striker, with both Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, a summer buy from Bologna, struggling for goals this season. With Ruben Amorim now at the helm, a move for Gyökeres, who flourished under the Portuguese coach at Sporting Lisbon, seemed a formality, but a reunion at Old Trafford now looks unlikely. The Sweden international is expected to leave Sporting this summer, with the club ready to cash in on their star forward. However, The Athletic outlined that Gyökeres wants to join a club who can offer him Champions League football next year. While United could yet qualify by winning the Europa League, there are other mitigating factors too. Sporting are like to command a fee of around €70 million, €58.2 million, for Gyökeres, which United would be reluctant to lay down for a player who will turn 27 in June. A focus on younger targets is likely to see Sesko and Delap come into play, with the former a long-term target. The club even tried to lure him away from RB Leipzig in the summer transfer window, only for the Slovenia international to sign a new deal. Arsenal are also known to be admirers of Sesko and their interest, plus Leipzig's demands for the 21-year-old could complicate a potential deal for the striker, whose style of play would be a good fit for Amorim's tactics. A move for Delap, who has enjoyed a fine season with Ipswich Town after winning promotion from the Championship last year, could also fit the bill. The 22-year-old has 9 Premier League goals to his name and suits the profile Amorim is after. He has been tracked by United this season and, crucially, is known by technical director Jason Wilcox from his Manchester City days. Intriguingly, Premier League goal-scoring icon Ian Wright recently urged United to make a move for Delap on his podcast, Wrighty's House. He said, "Go and get Delap." The thing is, he's got that hunger and disrespect for everybody, and it just feels like the kind of player they need. They need a hero like that, and he's a hero waiting to happen. He's hungry.